If you're in your 60s, you haven't missed the boat. You're right on time. Right now, your body and mind are at a turning point. What you choose to do next can make all the difference. While average life expectancy in the US hovers around 77 to 79 years, there's a growing group of people living vibrantly into their 90s and beyond. Not just sitting in a chair, but hiking, dancing, mentoring, laughing. They're not lucky. Most of them made smart, consistent choices that quietly added not just years to their lives, but energy, clarity, and joy to those years. Modern research from places like Harvard Health and the Mayo Clinic is helping us understand what those choices are, and more importantly, how they work together to help you stay independent, sharp, and active for decades. Longevity isn't about a magic pill or perfect genes. It's about the habits you build, the small steps you take, and how those steps shape your future. Today, we'll walk through 7 lifestyle changes that science shows can extend both your lifespan and your health span. The years you stay strong, capable, and full of life. These aren't gimmicks or extreme routines. They're realistic, doable shifts that many older adults across the country have already embraced, and they're seeing real, lasting results. Take Janet, for example. She's 66 and lives in Ohio. A few years ago, she had a minor heart scare. Not enough to need surgery, but enough to get her attention. Her doctor told her it was time to rethink a few habits. So she stopped drinking soda, started walking every day around her neighborhood, and added some light strength training with resistance bands in her living room. It didn't happen overnight, but now at 72, she hikes every weekend with her daughter and grandkids. And she says she feels stronger than she did in her 50s. Stories like Janet's aren't rare. They're powerful reminders that the decisions you make in your 60s set the tone for the decades ahead. These years are your opportunity to build a foundation for vitality. Even small shifts, done consistently, can completely change the way you age. So, are you in your 60s or beyond? Let us know in the comments. What age are you working with? And if you're ready to keep your strength, your independence, and your spark for many years to come, be sure to like this video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe so you don't miss more tools to help you live stronger for longer. Let's begin with the habit that influences nearly every system in your body, from your heart to your brain to your balance. Number 1, move your body every day. Movement is one of the most powerful ways to protect your health as you age, and it's never too late to begin. Just 30 minutes of physical activity a day has been shown to significantly lower your risk for heart disease, stroke, dementia, type 2 diabetes, and even certain cancers. But what's even more encouraging, that movement doesn't have to be strenuous, sweaty, or intimidating. Whether it's a morning walk around the block, light stretching on your patio, dancing in the living room to your favorite music, tending your garden, or floating laps in a local pool, every bit of movement adds up. The goal is to stay consistent and build a rhythm your body can rely on. It's not about becoming a marathon runner. It's about keeping your muscles, joints, and brain actively engaged. One of the most important areas to focus on in your 60s and beyond is strength and balance. As we age, muscle mass naturally declines, and with it, our stability. That's why falls become more common and more dangerous. Light resistance training just 2 days a week, using bodyweight exercises or resistance bands, can maintain the muscle tone that keeps you steady on your feet and strong in your daily life. You don't need to jump into a full fitness routine right away. Start small. A 10-minute walk in the morning and another in the evening can ease you into movement without overwhelming your body. Over time, those minutes build stamina, confidence, and resilience. Many people find it easier to stick with movement when it becomes part of their social life or routine. If you can, find a walking buddy or join a local class. The social connection adds a layer of accountability and joy. Ron, 68, from Florida, is a great example. After he retired, he realized his days had become mostly sedentary. He missed the routine and the interaction he once had at work. So he started walking each morning with a group of neighbors. It began as a way to fill the time, but within a few months, Ron had lost 15 pounds. More importantly, he says he sleeps better, wakes up with more energy, and feels stronger than he did 2 decades ago. Movement doesn't just strengthen your muscles. It sharpens your mind, improves your mood, supports healthy sleep, and boosts your immune system. It sets the stage for nearly every other healthy habit. When your body's in motion, it's easier to stay motivated, feel hopeful, and enjoy the everyday moments. Exercise is essential, but what fuels your body may be even more powerful. Number 2, eat for longevity, not just fullness. What you put on your plate today directly shapes how you'll feel tomorrow and for years to come. Nutrition isn't just about preventing hunger. It's one of the clearest ways to influence your energy, mood, memory, and long-term health. As we age, the body becomes more sensitive to what we eat. The right foods can reduce inflammation, improve heart health, sharpen the brain, and even lower the risk of chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes and certain cancers. Many of the world's longest living populations follow a Mediterranean or plant-forward way of eating. This doesn't mean becoming vegetarian. It means leaning into whole, minimally processed foods that nourish the body deeply. Think fiber-rich vegetables, colorful fruits, nuts, seeds, legumes, and heart-healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil. Omega-3 rich foods like salmon, sardines, chia seeds, and walnuts are especially important for protecting your brain and reducing inflammation throughout the body. One of the simplest changes, swapping out heavily processed choices for whole alternatives. Choose whole grain bread instead of white. Try brown rice or quinoa in place of instant rice. Add leafy greens like spinach or kale to your breakfast scramble. Even small swaps can reduce spikes in blood sugar and support digestive health. If that sounds like a big shift, take it step by step. Begin by adding just one plant-based meal each week. It could be as simple as a lentil soup or roasted vegetables with whole grains. Cooking at home twice a week is another powerful habit. It gives you full control over ingredients and portions, and often reduces salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats compared to restaurant meals. Dennis, 70, from California, is proof that it's never too late to rethink your meals. After watching a nutrition documentary, he decided to start cooking at home a couple of nights a week. He began using fresh ingredients and experimenting with herbs, grains, and seasonal vegetables. In just 3 months, his blood pressure dropped 15 points, and he lost 12 pounds without ever dieting. More than that, he says he feels mentally sharper and has more confidence in the kitchen than he ever expected. Your meals don't have to be fancy or complicated. They just need to support the systems that keep you thriving: your heart, brain, digestive tract, and immune system. And the best part? Eating this way can still be enjoyable, flavorful, and deeply satisfying. You're not giving things up. You're adding quality and vitality to every bite. Now let's look at something simple, but often forgotten: your sleep. Number 3, prioritize deep, restorative sleep. Sleep is often treated like a luxury, but in truth, it's a biological necessity, just as vital as food and movement. For adults over 60, getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night isn't just ideal, it's essential. Yet many older adults struggle to fall asleep, stay asleep, or feel rested in the morning. The good news is, improving your sleep is possible with small, consistent changes. Sleep is when the brain does its deepest cleaning, clearing away waste that builds up during the day. This overnight maintenance supports memory, emotional resilience, and even lowers the risk of conditions like dementia. It's also the time when your immune system recharges, inflammation is reduced, and blood pressure is naturally regulated. Poor sleep, on the other hand, can increase the risk of depression, falls, and chronic illness. Age-related changes in hormones, medications, and even shifting daily routines can all affect sleep. But you can guide your body back into better rhythms. One of the most effective changes? Limiting screen time, especially television and phones, about an hour before bed. The blue light from these devices tells your brain to stay alert, disrupting the natural signals that trigger drowsiness. A consistent bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends, helps train your internal clock. Avoiding caffeine in the late afternoon and evening also makes a big difference, as does limiting heavy or sugary snacks before bed. Creating a relaxing nighttime routine can shift your body into rest mode. This could be 10 minutes of journaling, a few pages of a calming book, or simple breathing exercises. These small habits act like cues to your body that it's time to unwind. Sandra, 67, from Illinois, had been struggling with sleep for more than a decade. Her nights were restless, filled with tossing and turning, and she often woke up feeling foggy. She decided to make two changes. She turned off her TV an hour earlier and began writing in a journal before bed. Nothing fancy, just a few reflections on her day. Within 2 weeks, she was sleeping through the night. Now she says she hasn't felt this refreshed in years, and she no longer dreads bedtime. Better sleep isn't about perfection. It's about giving your body the right environment to do what it was made to do: rest, repair, and rejuvenate. When you start sleeping well, everything else, your mood, your memory, your motivation, starts to improve too. What you do when you're awake is just as important, especially who you spend it with. Number 4, build strong social connections. Human beings were never meant to thrive in isolation. As we grow older, the size of our social circles may change, but the need for connection never goes away. In fact, research shows that loneliness can be as dangerous to your health as smoking or obesity. That's not just about emotional well-being, it's about your heart, your immune system, and even how long you live. Strong social ties have been linked to lower rates of depression, stronger immunity, better sleep, and greater life satisfaction. Whether it's a neighbor you wave to each morning, a friend you call once a week, or a group you meet for cards or coffee, those interactions add up in powerful ways. Connection doesn't have to mean a big party or a loud event. Often, the most meaningful bonds are built in quiet, consistent moments. Even short conversations can spark feelings of joy and purpose. Joining a local club, participating in a volunteer group, or picking up a new hobby can open doors to new friendships, sometimes when you least expect it. Technology also plays a helpful role. Video calls with grandkids, group texts with old friends, or even participating in online forums related to your interests. Leroy, 72, from Michigan, felt a deep void after his wife passed away 5 years ago. At first, he spent a lot of time alone, unsure of what to do with his days. One afternoon, he overheard someone at the grocery store talking about a local pickleball group. He decided to check it out. What started as curiosity quickly turned into a lifeline. Leroy found not just a sport he enjoys, but a group of friends who brought back something he hadn't felt in a while: laughter. Now he plays 3 times a week and says the courts have become his happy place. When you're connected to others, your perspective shifts. You feel seen, you feel needed. That sense of belonging brings stability, comfort, and even healing during difficult times. Whether it's rebuilding relationships or creating new ones, every effort matters. How do you stay socially connected these days? Leave a comment below. Someone else might be inspired by your idea. Next up is something we often overlook: your mindset. Number 5, practice purpose and positive thinking. There's a quiet strength that comes from knowing why you wake up each morning. Having a sense of purpose, not just something to do, but something that feels meaningful, has been shown to add years to life and life to those years. It's not just philosophy, it's backed by science. Research from Johns Hopkins shows that older adults with a clear sense of purpose live longer, report fewer health issues, and recover faster when illness strikes. Purpose looks different for everyone. It might be helping raise your grandkids, caring for a garden, mentoring a young person, or putting time into a cause close to your heart. It's not about staying busy, it's about doing what brings you a sense of fulfillment. Even small acts done with intention create a powerful ripple effect in your emotional and physical health. Alongside purpose, cultivating a mindset that leans toward optimism can reshape how your body responds to stress. Studies link positive thinking with lower rates of heart disease, reduced inflammation, and improved sleep. And this doesn't mean pretending life is always easy, but rather choosing to focus on what you can be grateful for, even on hard days. Start by writing down what brings you joy. Is it a hobby, time with family, a cause that matters to you? Then ask yourself, how can I invite more of that into my daily life? Carl, 69, from Washington, spent his career teaching high school math. After retiring, he missed the connection with students and the feeling that he was making a difference. One day, he offered to help a neighbor's grandson who was struggling in algebra. That one act led to a regular tutoring schedule 3 days a week at a local community center. Carl now says it's the best part of my week. He lights up when he talks about the kids and the progress they're making. His days feel full again, not of tasks, but of meaning. And there's something else that happens when you live with purpose. You begin to attract more connection, more gratitude, and even more opportunities to grow. The benefits build on themselves. Stronger brain function, better mood, and a deeper sense of peace. Let's move to something even more subtle, but just as powerful for longevity. Number 6, manage stress and protect mental health. Stress may not always show on the outside, but it leaves deep marks within the body. When it lingers unchecked, it puts strain on the heart, disrupts brain function, and weakens the immune system, making the body more vulnerable to illness. For older adults, managing stress isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for living longer and living well. Mental health is just as vital as physical health. They're deeply connected. When anxiety, worry, or loneliness take hold, they don't just cloud your mood, they can raise your blood pressure, disturb your sleep, and sap your energy. That's why tending to your mental well-being is one of the most powerful changes you can make, no matter your age. You don't need hours of stillness or advanced techniques. Begin with something as simple as pausing 3 times a day to breathe deeply. Just 2 minutes of focused, slow breathing can lower your stress response and calm the nervous system. If you're able to add light movement, like yoga or Tai Chi, even once or twice a week, the benefits multiply. Improve flexibility, better balance, and a steadier mood. And don't hesitate to reach out for help if emotional burdens feel too heavy. Speaking with a counselor or therapist can be one of the kindest things you do for yourself. It's not a sign of weakness, it's an act of strength. Mental health care is self-care, and it's never too late to start. Linda, 65, from Texas, had always struggled with overthinking and occasional anxiety, especially after retiring and feeling unsure about what came next. One day she downloaded a free meditation app and committed to trying just 10 minutes a day. Within weeks, she noticed her blood pressure readings had improved, and more importantly, she felt more grounded and calm. "I'm more present now," she said. "I can enjoy my life without feeling like my thoughts are always racing." Stress may not disappear entirely, but with the right tools, it no longer controls the day. The key is consistency, not perfection. With small, steady steps, the mind and body begin to heal together. And finally, one of the most overlooked but critical factors in long life: your doctor's office. Remember Janet from Ohio, who transformed her weekends from quiet afternoons to hikes with her family? Or Ron in Florida, whose morning walks gave him back his energy and restful nights? These stories are proof that change is possible, and it starts with a single step. So as you consider your next move, know that it's never too late. Every positive choice you make today sets the stage for a healthier, happier tomorrow. Which lifestyle change will you begin today? Share your plan in the comments to inspire others. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who deserves to thrive in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Your best years are still ahead,